Hey guys, so we have the confirmation of LR VEGITO Blue coming to Dokkan. So what I wanted to do is get you a general idea of what I think the banner will look like for VEGITO Blue, and as you can see by looking on the screen, I do believe that he will be a Dokkan Festival. You can't save VEGITO Blue for a carnival or something like that. It's just they have not done that in the past. You know, these heavy hitters like this, they tend to be Dokkan Fest LRs, and I don't see that being any different. You guys see, like, this video is not gonna have kits or anything like that. We could talk about like how kits might work with VEGITO Blue, but I can't tell you what VEGITO Blue is gonna do and stuff like that. And then you have my pick on the right for the banner unit, and that is going to be some type of a Mai of sorts. The only thing I can really reliably say is they won't be int or they won't be AGL, as that is the versions of Mai that we have in the game right now. So the format and the style, maybe not the style, but the kind of formula that I went for picking who the units would be kind of was to transition from last year's banner and kind of fill in the spots with like, okay, when was this release, and then plug it into that release. And the other factor that I had was that the Dokkan Fest for part 1 last year was a extreme class unit, so a lot of super class units tend to be featured on those. So I kind of flipped some of the super class units that were on the cooler banner with some extreme class counterparts that would work out well for that. So like I said, you guys see we have VEGITO Blue here, we know that's who it is, and then my prediction for the banner unit is Mai. So let's go ahead and get into the first slot, and that is going to be LR Cooler. So LR Cooler, we know, oh, and by the way, this is going to be for JP. So LR Cooler, we know, is the previous year's worldwide download celebration unit. So the way they tend to do these is that the one from the previous year always is on the next year's banner. So LR Cooler is going to be a shoo-in. Now, how he's going to work with VEGITO, I'm not too sure. The only category I can tell you 100% that they'll share is Final Trump Card, perhaps Transformation Boost, but we will have to see. So LR Cooler, I think, will be on the banner as he was the predecessor of VEGITO Blue being the Worldwide Download Celebration Dokkan Festival last year. So coming in our next spot for another featured LR, I have the LR God Duo from the 7-year anniversary. Now, the previous year's anniversary units tend to be on these banners as well. So last year, the unit was Evolution Blue Vegeta. So this year, I went with the anniversary LR that would synergize better with VEGITO Blue and would have maybe people more incentivized to continue to summon on the banner. If they do pull VEGITO Blue, it's like, oh, let me get the Power Beyond Super Saiyan leader, or maybe the LR Gods work really well on the VEGITO Blue team. We don't know yet, so we shall see, but I think if you just had to, spitball it, I would say that the synergy for the LR Gods is going to work much better than the LR Super Saiyan 4s would, so that's why I do have them on this banner. So this is where things start to get a little bit out of control, but last year we had the New Year's units be on this banner, on the Worldwide Download Celebration banners. So we have Piccolo coming in at this spot. This could easily be LR Ultimate Gohan, but for the sake of making the banner better, I ultimately went with LR Orange Piccolo. Now, Orange Piccolo, what is there to say about this unit that hasn't been said a gazillion times? This guy's just busted beyond belief. Really just kind of does everything, offense, defense, you name it, he's got it. It's just, there's a lot that he is doing, and I think that just overall, like, you want to make like the best banner ever, you put Throw Piccolo on this one. People want to summon for units they want, right? And this Piccolo, wow, I can't talk, certainly is in high demand. So LR Piccolo I have on this banner as well. A lot of tech units here, but that's just kind of how it played out. So finally, the last unit that I have slotted in is the worldwide from the year prior to last year, so 2 years ago, and that is LR Full Power Frieza. As this is the super class unit, there's going to be some extreme class units on this banner, and ultimately I felt that Namegoku would not be on this banner. He would be on the next Dokkan Festival, whether that be part 2, whether that be the Zamasu banner. Namegoku will be on one of these, so every unit that you've seen so far has a counterpart, and I think that is where they're going to end up on the other Dokkan Festival banner. So if you look at this row, there's counterparts to each one of these units. We have the LR Goku and Vegeta from the Metal Cooler movie, we have the Super Saiyan 4 duo, we have Ultimate Gohan, Beastless Gohan, whatever you want to call them, all the funny haha stuff, and then you have Full Power Frieza. His counterpart is Namek Goku. So that is all the LRs. So in total, we're going to have 5 featured LRs. That's usually how they tend to do these. These are really like big boy banners, 10 featured units, a lot of LRs. It's really tough to pull what you want, which is VEGITO, but we shall see. So let's go ahead and move on to the TUR side of things. Now, the first TUR I have up is Zamasu. Now, he should not have come up first, but it is okay. We will just go backwards. With Zamasu, I think he's going to be on this banner despite him being featured on the ticket banner, because he is going to likely EZA during the celebration alongside his counterpart with Tech Trunks. So again, one of these common themes that we are seeing here is the counterparts, right? So on this banner, it's going to be AGL Zamasu, so that means that the Dokkan Festival, whether that be Zamasu, whether that be like a Sword of Hope Trunks in part 2, that is where Tech Trunks will end up being. So I think that overall, that is a safe spot for him. So with that being said, let's move on to the next spot. And this is where things tend to get really crazy. And that is that we have Int Piccolo on this banner. So if you just look at this banner from like a face value standpoint, we have Int Piccolo, who's arguably the best TUR in the game still. Not my number one TUR, but people argue he's the best, right? Especially in that cell fight, if you want to gauge that one as like your bar, he certainly is up there. And then we have Tech Orange Piccolo, we have these VEGITO Blue, we have the LR Gods, we have AGL Zamasu, who's going to Easy A, and this banner is just shaping up to be quite well. And like I said, this is all with the conclusion that he does Easy A, but it is 100% possible that it does. It's like, it is possible that he doesn't, but in my opinion, I just don't see that happening. So coming in at our second to last spot, I have Tech VEGITO Blue. Just kind of with this one, it was kind of a tough spot to fill in, but I think just being similar to pulling another VEGITO Blue, you know, Dokkan and Akatsuki, they tend to like to put their troll units on here. So like when you have these troll units like this, you know, you see the VEGITO Blue sprite, and it's like, oh, it's the wrong one, right? And that's simple, like they just tend to do stuff like that. So, you know, someone with a similar name, someone that's going to make you mad when you pull them, I think that's inevitable, because, you know, you look at last year's banner and there was LR Cooler on it, and there was also STR Cooler. So it's like, oh, I pulled STR Final Form Cooler, but the wrong one. Same typing and everything. They just like to be bullies over there sometimes. So Tech VEGITO Blue in there, and I think that is a safe pick. So that leads our last spot, excuse me, and that is Int Goku Black. So Int Goku Black is another potential Easy A during the celebration, and I think he would bring in, you know, maybe incentivize people to summon even more on these banners if they find out he's going to Easy A, because myself included and a lot of people I'm sure don't have a lot of dupes in him, because he is a bit of an older Dokkan Fest, so it is hard to get your hands on some of these units sometimes, and Int Goku Black is no exception. Me personally, I have him at 55, so, you know, a lot of people missing out on that unit, and I think him being featured on this banner that, you know, people are going to be throwing a lot of stones on, fits the theme, everything like that. And, you know, I really think when you kind of look at this banner, this is how I think it would break down. You know, you really can throw in a bunch of other things. You could look at some counterparts. You could say like, oh, it could be the Goku and Vegeta, it could be the Super Saiyan 4s. Like, you could flip a lot of these units, because 6 of the featured units have like, or 7 of the featured units have counterparts, right? So it's like, you look at Int Piccolo, you have World Tournament Goku. You look at Tech VEGITO Blue, you have STR Rose. AGL Zamasu is Tech Trunks, and then we went over the LRs from before. Then obviously VEGITO himself up on the top is going to have his counterpart. That could be Zamasu, it could be Sword of Hope. I think if they want to kind of like make part 1 as hype as possible, you do a dual Dokkan Fest with Merge Zamasu being the other side of things, Fuse Zamasu, whatever you want to call him, right? I think that would be kind of like the smartest thing to go about, way to go about it, but who knows? Worldwide last year, they decided to get freaky with the concept, and I think it would kind of be funny if they just like introduce this carnival, do that one format, and they're like, yeah, that sucked, and we're never doing it again. So maybe we just, if Worldwide is dual Dokkan Festival, I think you can just bury the idea of doing dual Dokkan Fest and or a Dokkan Fest and a carnival at the same time. I think that would be sort of like the end game. If they just go back to doing dual Dokkan Fest for Worldwide, then you know that their experiment was a failure, and they're not going to bring that one back. So let me know what you guys think of this banner down below. I think overall it's going to be pretty good. Like, really, no matter how you split it, this is going to be like one of the top banners of the year. Worldwide always does that. It's seldom is it like a bad banner. It's always going to be good value for your stones. I think if there's one, like the most disappointing unit on this banner is Tech VEGITO Blue, just because his Easy A is come and gone, so there's really not much looking up for him, and we are closer at this point to the full power Frieza and the God Duo Easy A than we are further away from it. Fun fact. So let me know what you guys think of this banner down below. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy. Let me know what you're thinking for the other side of the banner, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.